Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh boy, okay. So we have the cell phone video of the ICE officer in question that fired the defensive shots in Minneapolis. I'm going to go through that, and we'll talk about it, take your calls, and analyze it. And a lot of other things have come out on this incident. And this is really I'm amazing that the guy recorded this on his iPhone. This is not body camera footage. And who knows if the Department of Homeland Security has new advanced body cam footage, but historically, body cam footage that I've seen it's like watching the Blair Witch Project. It's so jumpy and it's low quality and it's very difficult to see, but the ICE officer's cell phone video is crystal clear, and when you watch this video, you get to see when he walks around the car before the incident. You get to see him briefly in the window of the car. You get to see his phone. I think it's an iPhone. Whatever phone it is, it has very good stabilization, which allows you to see everything crystal clear. And there's no question that this ICE officer was defending his life in a very deadly situation. All right, I'm going to play you the video now. And if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. Now remember, this is the officer who fired the shots who's actually filming this on his personal cell phone. The body cam will be coming soon, I'm sure. That's her.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness. Boy, oh boy. And if you remember, right after the incident happened, the wife was heard by witnesses saying, "It's my fault. I got her killed." And now that we've seen the video, you can tell that for sure. And, you know, this video, when you see the wife, who was a passenger in the vehicle when this happened, the arrogance, and I was talking this morning about what the Democrats are doing. And what the Democrats have done is they have gaslit and brainwashed their own supporters and followers. And these two, they believed in their heart and mind that there's some kind of freedom fighters for the illegals. They're out of their minds. They've lost all sense of reality, and they're being used by the Democrat Party to do terrible and evil things. And this is a sad incident that this happened. This woman so brainwashed by the Democrats that she went off and did something this stupid that got her killed. Her wife definitely egged things on, and you even hear, I'm going to play it again, and you hear the wife when she's getting into the car telling her to drive, and she did, and that's when she hit the officer. So let's go through this again.
plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the
All right,
car.
baby, come on.
Oh my goodness. When can you guys pick up what the wife is saying? She's saying U.S. citizen, former effing something. I couldn't hear what the something was. I'll play it again. Let me know if you could pick up what she says. And I'll tell you another thing about this. We're hearing all this that they went through this Antifa ICE training, and that the driver was shot for trying to run the officer over. That she was one of these ICE anti-ICE training people training the other activists on how to harass ICE. This technique, what they were doing there was a technique, right? What they were doing, this was the way that these two reacted to the ICE agent is part of their training to try to escalate the situation. The condescending, bring it on, big boy, all this. These insane-looking smiles on their face. This is all about trying to instigate an incident. Now, for the life of me, I cannot imagine what went through her mind when she got in the car and said, drive, drive, drive. Why is she telling her to drive? They're surrounded by federal agents that are saying, get out of the effing car. These what's that? Yeah, she said, drive, baby, drive. Baby driver. There have been these lunatic anti-ICE activists who have been lying about what was said, that the ICE officers said, drive away. No, it was the wife that told her to drive away. And, not only do we have this great video from the ICE officer, but we have great audio too, don't we? This is a great camera. I don't know. I've got the new iPhone. Is this the new iPhone? I don't know. Whatever phone that is, I'd like to have that one. It's got great video, incredible stabilization, and audio. And it very well may have saved the life of this ICE officer. Did you see that ICE in large numbers showed up at his house today, took a lot of stuff out? They've had to evacuate this ICE officer and his family and have them at some undisclosed location somewhere for safety. They're probably on a military base. So you can see right here, you can see the phone. You can see the phone, he's holding it right there in the window. And you look at the technique. See, this condescending lunatic smile is all about them trying to push buttons to escalate. Every step of the way, these two, with purpose, were escalating the incident.
I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the
All right,
car.
baby, come on.
Yeah. Wow. These leftists are so... And one thing that's incredibly frightening, as a country, you understand that the liberals, the Democrats, right, the Kamala Harrises, the Joe Bidens that have been running the country during the Autopin years, this is their base. And this is the base that they've been catering their message to. And also... these, the squad types and everything that are in government, this is what they're like. When Michael Savage started saying years ago that liberalism is a mental disorder, Do these two women look sane to you?
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
All right,
Fucking bitch.
So, when she said drive, what did she think they were going? Did they think after this, when they've got a federal agent on each, they got federal agents on both sides of the car and in the front. They're completely surrounded by federal agents. And she said drive and she drove off. What were they thinking? How far did they think they were going to get to go? What goal were they trying to achieve at this point? You know, what a lot of this is it's, you know how the Never Trumpers, they call us cult members? We're not cult members. We're very well-informed Americans who support the greatest president of our lifetime, arguably in the history of this country. They're in a cult. They're a small group of lunatics. And they're in this bubble of insanity where everyone in the bubble is completely insane. And they feed on one another. And they don't have anyone in their circle who's saying, well, these things are bad ideas. They feed on one another. I've got some other clips I want to play related to this, but let's play this again. And she said, see if you can make it out. I don't think she's saying veteran because I heard former. She says, U.S. citizen, former effing something. She's not saying veteran because you're always a veteran. You're not a former veteran. I couldn't quite make that out.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Yeah, this tape saved this guy's life. And I fully expect to have the local officials illegally charge him in Minnesota. They've been talking about doing it. This is the 5 just a little while ago talking about the video. Let's see what they had to say.
Do you believe that is the case?
Well, he felt like his life was in danger, and so it's justified. The Democrats have been lying about this, and this new video proves that. You know, at first they said they were just a bunch of women doing a U-turn in traffic, then they were legal observers. It doesn't look like that was the case. They were hardcore, trained anti-ICE agitators who were spending the entire morning obstructing a law enforcement operation, a dangerous law enforcement operation. And so if you watch the full video, you can see the partner egging this guy on, calling him fat. I mean, these are not innocent women, and that they don't deserve to be shot for insulting this ICE officer. But when you're driving a car right at them, these things can happen. It's a dangerous country since ICE has gone out and removed all of these illegal aliens that the Democrats let into the country. The Democrats have said there needs to be blood. They said people have to put their bodies on the line.
Yeah.
The Democrats have said someone needs to get shot. This was well reported in the summer.
And remember, they shot Charlie Kirk. They shot President Trump. They tried to shoot President Trump a second time, and there's been other incidents too.
Well, it's happened. And why do they want this to happen? Because they have no power in the country anymore. They're trying to create a Floyd situation where we back off like we did with BLM.
That's right.
Remember after BLM, you had DEI take over, defund the police, and then everybody let everybody else run wild. And what did that get us? $2 billion in property damage, a DEI disaster, and a lot of crime because police had to peel back. That's not what's going to happen. You look now, Trump and Noam, they are surging forces into these cities, and they're not going to tolerate crazy women putting themselves in the middle of a dangerous law enforcement operation where these guys are trying to go into these homes and pull out gangsters and drug traffickers.
Yeah. You know, the people that they're arresting are dangerous, 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 right? This incident that happened with the ICE shooting in Oregon yesterday was a Trinidad de Agua guy, right? I mean, these are guys that are basically like ISIS-type fighters. They're arresting very dangerous people. You know, when I was young, I was born in the 70s, in 71. And when I was young, I used to see all these videos of the 60s, and I've seen endless documentaries and movies and television shows, as well as people talking about it, that lived through that time, romanticizing the 60s, the protest movement and everything. That was a wave of violence too. Violence is not romantic. Okay? And the leftists in this country, the Democrats, have a history of violence. They're never peaceful. They're violent now. They were violent after George Floyd. Okay? They were violent in the 60s. The Democrats fired on Fort Sumter and killed President Lincoln. The Democrat Party, there has not been a period of time when they have not been violent. I've been myself had problems. There was, I'm not going to go through all the details, but I had, at one event I was at with Steve Kane years ago, a Democrat pushed me out in front of moving traffic during rush hour trying to get me killed. I had a leftist hit me with their forearm in my face and my nose, trying to break my nose, and then reported me to the police saying I hit them, right, making a false report. So, you know, Democrats have always been this way. Don't let them convince you or try to tell you, well, you know, Trump's doing these things. Anytime the Democrats have lost power, they send their people out in the street. And I'll tell you, when that Bernie Sanders campaign worker shot Steve Scalise and tried to assassinate the entire Republican baseball team in President Trump's first term, we didn't have these ICE deportations going on then. Yeah, somebody in the chat mentioned Rodney King and the LA riots. And you can go back through time for different riots, right? The Ku Klux Klan, a Democrat organization that had a 100-year reign of terror, committing terrorism, very violent terrorism, lynching of Republicans who were African American. So anytime the Republicans lose, they believe democracy has failed, and they go out and commit acts of violence. So this has nothing to do with Trump. That they're using that, not that it's an excuse, but they're trying to use it as an excuse. Well, we're only violent because of these ICE raids. Really? Then why'd you shoot him in Butler? Why'd you try to shoot him again at the golf course here in Florida? Charlie Kirk's not ICE. Why did the Never Trumpers shoot Charlie Kirk dead? Exactly. These are crazed people, and I've thought to myself many times, I don't know if I've shared this with you all, but I've thought to myself many times that the Republicans should have outlawed the Democrat Party after the Civil War was over for what they did. Here's CNN talking the video that I just shared from the ICE officer's cell phone.
Was there an alternative to shooting her after she didn't comply with that command?
What a dummy. Yeah, there was an alternative. The officer could have sacrificed his own life. Or if he survived it, been in a wheelchair, paralyzed for the rest of his life. I guess, if, I've heard that so many times in the last couple of days. What a dumb question, CNN.
Was there an alternative to shooting her after she didn't comply with that command?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not on scene there. The officer's got to make a split-second decision on whether his life was in danger, and then he can use appropriate force as he deems necessary. The totality of the circumstances really matter in this case. A variety of things. I think it's been reported that they had observed this car and this individual earlier in the day or in the days prior doing similar types of things as well. So there's a lot going on here. Instead of just taking a snapshot of one camera at one period of time, there's a lot of facts and a lot of circumstances that go on here. But I think what is clear here is this idea that somehow we've gotten into, that it's okay to block a law enforcement operation, that it's okay to ignore lawful commands, that it's okay to evade arrest, and that it's okay to simply drive your car anywhere you want to, including into an officer. I mean, that's what these folks are doing here, and it's becoming obviously very, very dangerous.
Yeah, look, reasonable questions. Is a reasonable question also to ask if it's okay to shoot someone if they do those things?
Well, sure, I think you can ask the question, but again, I think there's a lot of case law that will back up law enforcement to say in split-second decisions that you have to make. And if you see a vehicle coming at you and you believe that your life is in danger, then you can take the appropriate action. Look, it should have never been in this case. Mayor Fry should allow ICE, local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE. This individual should have never been in the middle of the street blocking a law enforcement operation. She should have adhered to the commands of the law enforcement officers and obviously not backed up her car and tried to evade arrest. There's a variety of things that should have been done differently in this case.
Yeah. Wow. So when you have analysis on CNN backing up these ICE officers, that it was that the officer did, sadly, what he had to do, defend his life. Yeah, here's the video. And again, this video was taken from the ICE officer's cell phone. This is not the body cam. This is the officer's personal cell phone.
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Wow. Her wife told her to drive. Oh, boy. I want to take a quick break. When we get back, I've got some more I want to share, and I'll go to the phones as well. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. You're listening to The Brian Craig Show. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. The Brian Craig Show is available on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, just search for The Brian Craig Show. If you want to catch the show live in video form, that's on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search for The Brian Craig Show. The number is 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. On the line, we have Gina. She's a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. Gina, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm doing great, thanks. So you went and met with Joe Thomas about annuities. Can you tell me about your experience?
I can't say enough good things about my experience with Joe Thomas. He's a straight shooter. He tells it like it is. He talks in plain language so that you know, because I didn't know anything about this stuff when I retired. So I walked into his office, and immediately I felt comfortable. And I said, look, I know nothing about this. I don't want to lose my shirt. So please guide me in the right direction so that I'll be set. And he sure did. And I'm very happy that I went there. And I even got my mother to join, too. Now I feel comfortable that I'm set, and I don't have to worry about running out of money.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than running out of money before you run out of life, right?
Exactly.
Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call and schedule your no-charge consultation. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999 and online, jupiterjoe.com. All right, Gina, thanks so much.
Thank you, Brian.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Happy New Year, health, wealth, and happiness, and may 2026 be your best year. The first quarter of each year is the slowest for roofing contractors across Florida due to the lack of rain, vacationers, and recuperating from the holiday spend. We have secured 2024 pricing on certain roofing materials with our suppliers for the first quarter only. So if you are planning on a new roof in 2026, take advantage of our first quarter low pricing now. These savings are significant, especially for multiple building HOA and condo associations. This covers shingles, tiles, and flat roof systems, so give me a call on my cell at 954-604-4602 or find us on the web at laportaroofing.com. That number again is 954-604-4602 or on the web at laportaroofing.com.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Thanks for joining. Before we get back to the issues, I want to talk about Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. I'm going to give you his number in just a moment, so get something to write with. Jamie Levac, he is an incredible accountant, okay? And the big, beautiful bill, which is now in effect, it is tax season. Everyone is getting tax cuts and deductions that they've never had before. And Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax knows not just taxes inside and out, he knows all the latest tax code, and he knows the big, beautiful bill inside and out as well, and he'll make sure that you get the maximum number of deductions that the law entitles you to. If you are someone who is, an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, part of the gig economy, in one of those industries, right, DoorDash, call Jamie Levac. Jamie Levac can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located. He's located here in South Florida where I am, but he covers the entire world. No matter what state you're in, he can help you with your federal and your state and local taxes as well. I've talked to many listeners already in the short time he's been with us who are just so excited that they called him that they're saving money. We've had multiple listeners who have had their back taxes, their former years where they were told by previous accountants that they owed money. Jamie Levac went back and found out not only did they not owe money, they're getting returns on past tax years. If you're a W-2 worker, give him a call. If you're in the tip economy, give him a call. If you earn money and pay taxes, call Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. This number rings directly to Jamie, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. If you're just joining us, this is the cell phone camera. This is that the ICE officer who fired the shots defending his life against this very sad liberal woman. And we've got everything in incredible quality video and sound.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the
All right,
car.
take it back.
You hear the wife told her to drive, and she did. There's a woman on TikTok talking about the incident.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If the police tell you to stop, you stop. If a white man would have been occupying that vehicle and there happened to be MAGA merch on the back of that said vehicle, y'all would be celebrating. You can't pick and choose when to cheer for law enforcement. Kind of reminds me of George Floyd. The cops tell you to stop, you stop. No human being deserves to lose their lives at the hands of anybody else. However, your decisions have consequences. However good those consequences may be, or however bad those consequences may be, all decisions have consequences.
Yep.
You can say whatever you want about me, to be quite honest, but I stand 10 toes down on if law enforcement, let that be a police officer, ICE, some sort of DEA, any type of law enforcement officer, if they tell you to stop, let me give you a bit of advice. Stop!
Yeah. And, this cell phone video very well may have saved this officer's life. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Tony Regan.
You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Afternoon, Brian. It's John Fernine out of California.
Hey, what's up?
I'm doing well. I pray that you're doing the same. I really appreciate that new video that ended up coming out. It just confirms everything that we have been thinking and seeing. I don't understand what is wrong with these people. If you have somebody that, the thing about it is that I think that her husband, wife, whatever you want to call it, I think that person should be held accountable as well. Because technically they were involved in some sort of observation ICE group, and they were intentionally going around and tracking these ICE members, eventually to the point where they ended up impeding with their operation. She was in the car. She was very much involved with this, impeding sort of situation.
Yep.
She was verbally, egging on the officers,
Yeah,
And
hold on while I answer these other lines. Yeah, go ahead. They were egging on the officers, escalating the situation, an escalation.
Yeah, escalating the situation, and she even attempted, when you watch the video, she was attempting to get back in the car. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand why they don't end up going ahead and prosecuting her.
Well, you know what I wonder, okay, because we've got some other people that have a lot of responsibility in the death of this woman. One is the wife who told her to drive, and I wonder, there's this thing called felony murder. As an example, if you're the getaway driver for a crime, and somebody goes into the store and robs the store and they shoot somebody dead, everybody that was involved, including the getaway driver on the curb, it's called felony murder. And there was an incident, if you remember a few years ago, there was a high profile legal case where someone took their own life, and the girlfriend who was texting him was prosecuted and convicted for egging him on into it. I wonder if the wife here has some type of criminal manslaughter charges that are possible to come down, because not only because she's the one who told her to run the officer over.
Well, that and the fact that she was part of the action of impeding law enforcement.
Yeah.
So that was the initial issue. So if she's involved and there's a crime that's associated that ends up coming out of it, then she should be charged. She should be held responsible for her doing that action. I've been on Twitter or X, and I've been seeing how so many, I don't understand what's wrong with these crazy people, that they're using their cars to impede.
These people are sick. I've been talking about this the last couple days when we've started to see, I've been talking about this a lot. And maybe you agree or maybe you disagree with this, but the Democrats have been gaslighting and brainwashing their followers, and that's what happened with. Now, again, I'm not absolving them. These two are very much responsible, but the Democrats drove them to this. Look at these people. Both of these women are crazed. I got another question. We know of two other people that have a big role here too. It was reported immediately that the ICE agents called for backup and the supervisor with the police refused to send backup. Do they have criminal responsibility? That weirdo mayor of Minneapolis, Mayor Fry, that likes to dance with to the Somali music with the Somali flag, he had ordered, it's been reported in mainstream outlets that he ordered Minneapolis police not to give backup or cooperate with ICE agents. Do those two have some type of criminal charges of possibly coming against them for this shooting incident? It seems to me that all these people did some very criminal things.
Okay, so I'm going to answer your question collectively because I know that there's tons of people who want to talk to you. First things first. Sanctuary city status is constitutionally illegal. End, full stop.
Yes.
Any individual who ends up having that, as far as enforcing it, should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Yeah.
Anything that is done to impede federal law from being executed within that state, they should be held accountable. Their federal funds in all areas should be immediately suspended and held in trust or whatever. There has to be a penalty for causing this kind of action.
Yes.
If people honestly wanted to hold people accountable, then they would find where Joe Biden is and they would be protesting that man's house. They would be doing the same with all of the members of his cabinet, because under their administration, that is where this ended up causing the greatest harm.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to end up inciting your constituency to go out and do these acts, then you should be held accountable as well.
Exactly.
Because it makes no sense whatsoever. I deal with mental health, and I can tell you verbatim, a majority of the individuals that I see are probably Democrats. I don't get involved in their political stance, but I can tell you that they have issues in regard to the presentation.
Well, listen, you made some good points. I'll move on, but thanks so much for the call. You made some good points.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. I'll take another call or two before I get into some more here. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Tony, and I'm from your mother's...
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. If you're on hold, stand by, because there's a few more things that I want to share. This is NBC, and they brought in their legal analyst over here on NBC. Listen to this.
New video. Does it change anything about the facts of this case that we know right now?
Somewhat, mostly because it's evidence that both the driver and the passenger, her wife, who was out of the car, were confrontational with police. Now, that doesn't mean that you conclude that they were being violent or aggressive or anything, but it fits into the calculus. Consider, for example, instead, if they had been, yes, sir, right away, sir, well, that goes into the calculus, too. Everything is a factor in the escalation of force formula. And if citizens are being compliant to orders, then that's a different analysis than whether they are, in this case, again, not being openly violent toward the officers, but certainly taunting them, being aggressive. It all factors into the calculus. It certainly doesn't mean that if they're being unfriendly to the officers, that the officers can use deadly force. And it may not go that much to whether or not the officer in that moment perceived that he was in fear of imminent serious physical harm sufficient to warrant the firearm. I'll just add also, that if this was a car stop, and ICE agents have very limited ability to initiate car stops, but if they suspect obstruction of their own duties, which there are several different federal statutes that would apply to that, criminal statutes, they may be able to initiate a car stop. And you hear one saying, get out of the car. That includes the right, since a Supreme Court case from long ago, to order people out of the car, even if they're not suspected to be dangerous or anything like that. So you may have a lawful exit order. Those are all things that all factor in to the many different factors that everyone will be looking at in determining whether this was a justified use of force.
Wow. So here we have, since this camera footage came out, have you noticed the big change? Right? I've played you audio of CNN and now NBC, and all of them are siding with the officer. So there you have it. Now, the president today, did you see he had a great meeting with the oil people today, the oil company heads, about the future of Venezuela? And did you notice Tucker Carlson was there, sitting in the room? He wasn't at the table at the meeting, but Tucker Carlson was there. He took some questions, as he often does, and the president took questions about the investigation that the feds are doing in Minneapolis over this incident.
Do you believe that the FBI should be sharing evidence with state officials in Minnesota?
Well, normally I would, but they're crooked officials. I mean, Minneapolis and Minnesota, what a beautiful place, but it's being destroyed. It's got an incompetent governor, fool. I mean, he's a stupid person. And it looks like the number could be $19 billion stolen from a lot of people, but largely people from Somalia. They buy their vote. They vote in a group. They buy their vote. They sell more Mercedes-Benzes in that area than almost. Can you imagine? You come over with no money, and then shortly thereafter you're driving a Mercedes-Benz. The whole thing is ridiculous. So they're very corrupt people. It's a very corrupt state.
Do you believe that the FBI should be?
Yeah. So that, you know, we are so blessed to have President Trump as our president. You know, and we've not had a president that stood up like this for the right thing every time. Every single time. If you'd like to support my program, support my content, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description of the episode. If you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all of my podcast episodes. You get access to exclusive live chats just for Patreon supporters that are on the Patreon platform. It's a troll-free zone. No trolls are allowed. You also get access to exclusive things that my wife and I both post to Patreon all the time. And if you become a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen on YouTube here, and you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. The names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SF Jr., Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, Lizep, Shauna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, and Doris. Thank you all. Again, if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this episode on whatever platform you're tuned in on. And you can also go directly to the website, patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. Patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. We'll take a quick break and be back.
Planning a trip with friends shouldn't feel like a full-time job, but somehow great ideas get buried in group chats, decisions drag on forever, and budgets turn into last-minute spreadsheet nightmares. That's why there's Trip Exchange. Trip Exchange is completely free. It brings all your trip planning together in one simple place with no paywalls. And you can collect and organize ideas, vote, and decide together. Plan and track budgets automatically and instantly see who owes whom without spreadsheets. With Trip Exchange, there's no more missed ideas, no more confusion, no more awkward money talk either. Just clear planning, fair cost sharing, and stress-free trips from start to finish. Whether it's a weekend getaway, a group vacation, or a shared event, Trip Exchange keeps everyone on the same page. Plan smarter, travel better. Visit trip-exchange.com. That's trip-exchange, trip-exchange.com. And start planning today. Trip-exchange.com. What do motorsports and leadership really have in common? More than you think. Author Daniel Leonard shows how the same principles that win races, strategy, precision, focus, and mental strength also drive success in business in his book, The Racing Line of Leadership, Management Meets Motorsport, available on Amazon. The Racing Line of Leadership isn't theory, it's practical, actionable leadership drawn from years of real management experience and the high-pressure world of motorsport. Just like on the racetrack, there's an ideal line in leadership. Miss it and you lose momentum. Find it and everything flows. The author breaks down how attitude, movement, and character shape modern leaders, helping you make faster decisions, stay focused under pressure, and lead with clarity when it matters most. Whether you manage a team, a company, or your own career, the Racing Line of Leadership will help you stay ahead of the curve without losing control. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Racing Line of Leadership, Management Meets Motorsport, from author Daniel Leonard. Find your line and lead with purpose. Do mealtimes feel more stressful than satisfying in your home? You're not alone. Between busy schedules, picky eaters, and rising grocery costs, eating healthy can feel impossible. That's why Dennis Heikkinen wrote the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook, available on Amazon. This practical, easy-to-use cookbook is packed with over 100 simple, nutritious, kid-approved recipes designed for real families and real life. Every meal is easy to prepare, budget-friendly, and made to help your whole family enjoy breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks without spending hours in the kitchen. Whether you're a busy parent, a beginner cook, or just trying to build healthier habits at home, the family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook gives you the confidence to cook with ease and bring joy back to your life. Order your copy right now on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. The family-friendly Healthy Eating Cookbook on Amazon.
All right, a big story, if you're on hold, stand by. A big story dropped today that there's a Secret Service investigation going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Axios reported the White House contacted the Secret Service regarding Marjorie Taylor Greene after an incident where President Trump was accosted by Code Pink protesters inside a D.C. restaurant over the summer. Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently called Trump to recommend that very same restaurant days earlier, and we've seen recently her being very friendly with Code Pink ladies. Here I'm showing on YouTube a photograph of Marjorie Taylor Greene with the founder of Code Pink. Yeah, Axios reported this. This is also in the Daily Mail. Marjorie Taylor Greene explodes in astonishing F-bomb-laden tirade as Trump orders Secret Service probe. An Axios report published today features testimony from Trump administration aides who blamed Marjorie Taylor Greene for tipping off the activist group Code Pink to the president's whereabouts to that D.C. steakhouse back in September. Holy smokes. She's lost her mind, and she lost it long ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's really sad, isn't it? Because everybody in the MAGA movement loved her. What happened? Well, we don't know, and maybe we'll never know. Was she ever MAGA? Did she feel slighted at some point? Well, we're never really probably going to know. We don't know now. Hopefully we'll know at some point because I want to know. But for people that talk about a MAGA divide, there's no MAGA divide. We have a couple of people out there. She's one of them who is creating this illusion of a MAGA divide. But I think a good case could be made that she was never MAGA, that she was just pretending to be. And she's not the first fake, phony MAGA we've had. We've had a lot of fake, phony MAGA, and she's just a very disappointing person. So I've got a few clips I want to share, and then maybe I'll take some calls. This is the president again at the meeting with oil executives today involving discussion about the future of Venezuela.
The plan is for them to spend, meaning our giant oil companies will be spending at least $100 billion of their money, not the government's money. They don't need government money. but they need government protection and need government security that when they spend all this money, it's going to be there so they get their money back and make a very nice return. The plan is for them to spend at least $100 billion to rebuild the capacity and the infrastructure necessary. Venezuela has also agreed that the United States will immediately begin refining and selling up to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan crude oil, which will continue indefinitely. We're all set to do it. We have the refining capacity. It was actually based very much on the Venezuelan oil, which is a heavy oil, very good oil, great oil. It's fantastic for certain things like asphalt roads, best there is in the world for asphalt roads and other things. All of the companies here today are going to be treasured partners in bringing the nation of Venezuela back to life, restoring its economy and generating great wealth for their companies and for their people, and also great wealth for the American people, and tremendous wealth for the companies that are going in. The companies that are going in, and if you don't want to go in, just let me know, because I got 25 people that aren't here today that are willing to take your place. So I just want to thank, these are people that I either know or I know of by reading.
Okay. So, I mean, this is amazing. Not only did he liberate Venezuela, but they're going to be rich down there. I wanted to ask you this, because I had some thoughts on this, and you know, and I'm not saying that I'm always right, but I think most of the time I've got some pretty good take on what I'm actually seeing from afar. This meeting today at the White House was of oil executives, which is exactly who you need. You know, Venezuela, it was reported earlier this week that Venezuela has more oil than even the United States. I thought we had more than everyone. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it's been reported this week. But because of the lunatics that have been running the country, their oil industry haven't been able to exploit what they have. So you need these top guys from Exxon and all these companies to go down there and fix the situation. But Tucker Carlson was in that meeting with the oil companies. He was not sitting at the table with the executives and the president. He was, you know, how they have those chairs that are on the outside, like against the walls and stuff. He was in one of those chairs. So why do you think Tucker Carlson was there? And, you know, Tucker Carlson is a man of mystery, but I'm going to run this by you, and you can let me know in the live chat if you're watching live, or let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts on this. I do believe that Tucker Carlson is a deep state guy. Okay, he's a deep state guy. His dad was a lifetime CIA guy. This has been not only widely covered and reported. Tucker Carlson even admits this. And then we had that incident. I didn't really think of him as, I didn't know about his father being in the CIA, and I did not think that he was deep state until the Putin interview. When Putin, remember when he interviewed Putin, Tucker, and Putin said, "Oh, I know you tried to join the CIA, you know, you couldn't get it." I think he is CIA, and I'm wondering, you know, the reason he was there in that meeting is because he's so in with the Muslims in the Arab world, and oil, they're OPEC, right? So he's all in with these OPEC people. Is it at all possible that I'm not saying that this is true. This is just a thought in my mind right now. So I'm not saying this is the way it is. It's just this is just a thought that passed through my mind. Is he actually, as crazed as he sounds, is he actually still working for the United States, the deep state, and maybe even President Trump? President Trump had him there. He was there because the president invited him there. And this anti-Israel, anti-Semitic business that we're seeing, is it at all possible that the deep state and the president have Tucker Carlson working for them, and this rhetoric is a way for him to bond with these Muslims in the Middle East, where President Trump's trying to bring peace to that part of the world for the first time? Maybe that's a stretch, but maybe it's not. We followed Tucker for years, and the way he's been behaving in the last year or so is just so out of character to the guy we all know or knew. And then then you see him there, in a way, what I'm saying is he's some kind of double agent of sorts. Does that make sense to you guys? Is that possible? Is that nuts? Now, again, I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's just a thought that came to my mind, and based on everything that's been going on, that is a possibility in my mind. If you're new to the program, make sure that you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you are on, okay? The Brian Craig Show podcast is available wherever you get podcasts. And if you want to catch the show live and in video form, that's on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search The Brian Craig Show on all podcast platforms. But if you want the live show and you want it in video form, where you hear me taking live calls every day, go to my YouTube channel and search The Brian Craig Show, and you can catch the show live in video form when I'm taking calls every morning and afternoon, and you can even call in yourself, okay? The Brian Craig Show, wherever you get your podcast. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I will talk to you next time. Take care.